Hello, welcome back to my haunted library. It's Regina. So I wanted to do my final reading vlog for Dune, and I really enjoyed this book a lot. I'm so glad that I finally read it. So I'm not going to go into all the plot summary of Dune because it's been over a week since I read it, and I've forgotten a lot already. All I can tell you is that I really enjoyed it. It turned out to be a really enjoyable read. Now, that doesn't mean that it wasn't stilted at times. I mean, the language itself could be a little bit irritating, but nothing that I couldn't handle as a reader. If you have always wanted to read Dune, and maybe you're a little intimidated by the length, just go for it, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Now, will I continue with the series? I could see myself continuing with the series. I went through my books to see if I had any other Dune books. I did find a God Emperor of Dune. That's a very cool cover. This one I found in a thrift store, but this is not the next book. I would definitely continue reading Dune. I mean, I don't know if I'll go the distance, but I'm interested enough to pick it up again. But I'm also interested enough to read more of Hyperion. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I feel like I want to read a lot of the sci-fi classics and maybe some goofy stuff too, or new stuff. So I found this little paragraph online to sort of sum up Dune a little bit. Dune is still widely read and considered a landmark of science fiction writing because it combines fantasy and science fiction with important social issues about the environment, religion, human social interaction, and genetic development. Dune was ahead of its time in pointing out the importance of ecological preservation and conservation of resources. Also, by addressing religion's complexity, Dune explored a topic that was rarely addressed by science fiction prior to the novel's publication. Today, the issues that Dune addresses are perhaps more relevant than they were 40 years ago. Yeah, I definitely agree. I don't know if you guys remember this one scene. If you read the book, it's about 3/4 of the way in, but it really stuck with me when Duke Leto is looking at Dune in the morning when the sun's rising and he's seeing all the beauty, the natural beauty of this planet, but then he's seeing the people out gathering the dew just to get any kind of water. And that's just a really beautiful image. It's kind of like a beautiful juxtaposition of the beauty combined with, I don't know, like the horror or the harshness of this environment. It really is a book that has a lot of depth. I may even reread it again because I know that there was a lot that I missed. I can see why this book becomes something of like a Bible for some people, or they're always going back to this. And I have to link one of the great YouTube sites that really does a deep dive into Dune, and that's Quinn's Ideas. I'll link it below. So highly recommend you check that out if you're interested in Dune. Speaking of spacey, I have heard from Batilda. She had a little trouble with the time machine and ended up in a different dimension. But I did get this transmission from her. Just very briefly, I'm just going to cut to that right now. Hello, Regina. I finally got through. As you can see, I did have a little trouble with my time machine. I ended up in another dimension on a distant planet called Zalingala, I think is how it's pronounced. I'm trying to learn the local customs. Everyone's treating me great. I mean, except for this one guy who keeps trying to probe me. But other than that, my new friends and I are working on getting the time machine back in order, so I'll be back with you soon. In the meantime, love to everyone. Kiss Lily for me. Bye. Okay, well, hopefully we'll get her back to this dimension soon. But until then, thanks for stopping by my haunted library, and I'll see you soon. Bye.